So, ladies and gentlemen, while the world is busy watching security headlines out of the Sahel, something much bigger is happening behind the scenes. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are not just fighting a war, they are building an economic empire, a self-contained transport and financial architecture designed to survive without ECOWAS. And as of today, July 2026, the blueprint is no longer on paper, the cement is being poured. If you're getting any value, do well to hit the like, share, or subscribe button. Let's talk about the bank. This is the engine room because every empire needs a bank. In December 2025, the AES formally activated the Confederal Investment and Development Bank, capitalized at 500 billion CFA francs. That's approximately 800 to 900 million US dollars, subscribed entirely by its 3 member states. According to information, the bank's mandate covers transport infrastructure, energy projects, mining development, and agricultural self-sufficiency, with a dedicated confederal tax levy to ensure funding that does not depend on the IMF. Let's talk about the corridors now. This is the rail, air, and highways. Stay with me because it gets really interesting here. The AES nations are landlocked, and for decades their economies have been held hostage by a handful of coastal corridors: Dakar, Bamako, Abidjan, Ouagadougou, Cotonou, Niamey. When one of these corridors goes down, whether by jihadist blockade, as we saw with JNIM shutting down Kais Nioro in September 2025, or by political tension, the entire supply chain collapses. So what are they doing about it? 3 things, ladies and gentlemen. 1. A 2,000 plus kilometer highway and railway network linking Bamako, Ouagadougou, and Niamey, with a planned extension to the port of Lomé in Togo. This is not a dream. The railway has already broken ground. 2. A regional airline. In April 2026, the 3 nations finalized a deal to launch an AES carrier, a joint airline to connect their capitals and break their dependence on foreign carriers for intra-Sahel movement. 3. The Morocco Atlantic Initiative, a new $1.3 billion deep water port at Dakhla in the former Spanish Sahara, purpose-built to give Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger direct Atlantic Ocean access through Moroccan infrastructure. This is a geopolitical masterpiece because it sidesteps ECOWAS coastal states entirely. Let's talk about energy resources. This is the fuel. Now, you cannot industrialize without energy, and the AES knows exactly what it is sitting on. Mali is projected to become Africa's second largest lithium producer in 2026, with reserves estimated at 890,000 metric tons. Niger holds some of the world's richest uranium deposits. Burkina Faso is a major gold producer, and across the Liptako-Goma region, the tri-border zone, there are vast, largely untapped mineral reserves. Now, according to information, in May 2024, Russian firms began building a 200 megawatt solar plant in Sanakoroba, near Bamako, the largest solar project in the region. On the nuclear side, Russia has authorized cooperation with Mali and Burkina Faso, and the AES has publicly stated a target of a nuclear power plant by 2034. Then in May 2026, just 2 months ago, Niger signed a series of strategic energy deals with China. So the pattern, ladies and gentlemen, is very clear. They are aggressively diversifying: Russia for nuclear and solar, China for grid infrastructure, and funding it through their own investment bank. Let's talk about the currency question and regional ripple effects. The funny aspect of this whole thing is this: as of January 2026, the AES formally changed course towards launching a new common currency, a Sahelian currency, to replace the previous currency. The details of the timeline and the backing mechanism are still being negotiated, but the direction of travel is irreversible. And the wider region is watching. The Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline, a 6,900 kilometer $25 billion project, is moving forward, with Morocco beginning the first construction phase in March 2025. It does not run through AES territory, but it reshapes the energy map of West Africa, and the AES intends to be part of that convention, not just a bystander. Also worth noting, the AES bloc's GDP grew by 6.51% in 2024, with Niger recording one of the fastest growing economies on the continent. So while the security narrative dominates headlines, the economic data tells a different story. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what you need to take away from all of this. The Alliance of Sahel States is executing a long-game strategy. The Mutual Defense Pact of September 2023 was the seed. The Confederal Treaty of July 2024 was the framework. But the investment bank, the railway, the airline, the Atlantic corridor, the energy deals, the currency roadmap, these are the roots being laid for a sovereign economic bloc that answers to no one but itself. The question is no longer whether the AES can survive outside of ECOWAS. The question, and I want you to think about this, is whether ECOWAS can remain relevant without the AES. What do you think about that? Drop your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Representing the World Museum is Flo. Stay safe, stay informed. Till the next one.